My friends, something big is about to happen as I, Legofan65, whose real name is Caleb, is about to review this VHS starting this fall on PBS. It's a broadcasting Thomas and Friends VHS, and the tape is considered lost media in the Thomas community, but not anymore, as I have the actual tape inside this thing. Let's get going with the review. Hello everyone, Legofan65 here, and welcome to the 12th episode of Legofan65's Childhood In. As you can tell, I'm pumped, and I'm excited to talk about one of the rarest pieces of Thomas media ever, starting this fall on PBS. Look at this front cover here. We have the Thomas and Friends logo, we have a picture of Thomas, and we have the title. The spine here, we have Thomas and Friends. Starting this fall on PBS, the Hit Entertainment logo. I'm reviewing these just like how Lego Lover 117 does them, with his Thomas and Friends home media reviews. Watch his review series, it's pretty good. We have the Thomas and Friends Biggest Treks Destination, and there's a little description on what's on here. You can pause the video if you want to read this entire thing. Then visit the Thomas and Friends at www.thomastakeagent.com. This website doesn't exist anymore. And we have that promotional shot of Thomas, Percy, and James from the It's Great to Be a Ninja DVD. Not for individual sale, for screening purposes only. And then of course we have our copyright information down there. Now, let's open the tape, shall we? So, here's the tape. Here's the close-up. The Hit Entertainment logo. More copyright information right there. The Thomas and Friends logo. Hit Entertainment, Thomas and Friends. A Series 800 screener. And then we have Differences, episode 802, and The Weather, episode 813. The audio is stereo, and its length is 59 minutes and 21 seconds. And then we have a sticker right here. Hit Entertainment, Thomas and Friends, Series 800 screener, episodes 802 and 813. Length is the same, 59 minutes and 21 seconds. And then, of course, here's the back. Alright, now, let's talk about where did I first see this release, and how did I get it. Let's get it chugging! Okay, so where did I first see this rare treasure trove known as starting this fall on PBS? Well, it's 2011. I'm 7 years old. I'm in the kitchen with my dad. He's recently gone to get the mail, and when he comes back, he shows me a letter from my grandmother. And in the letter, she shows me a picture of the certain VHS tape that we're currently talking about. And I'm excited. I had no idea this Thomas tape existed because it's never been put in any other video collection. Well, today is the day it finally gets reviewed on YouTube. So, let's talk about how did I get it. Well, later that same year, I'm going to my aunt's house to celebrate Christmas Eve with her and her family. And when we get there, my grandmother gives me the Starting This Fall on PBS VHS release. And I am watching it immediately after I receive it. Alright, you, as the viewer, are about to finally know what is on this tape. Watch as I pridefully put it in the VCR. At the beginning of the video, we have a warning from Hit Entertainment saying that if you duplicate or distribute this cassette, it is considered a violation of federal and international copyright laws, and if you do that, you'll be sent to the big house. Also, throughout this entire video, there is something at the bottom right corner saying for screening purposes only, exclusive property of Hit Entertainment, and it stays there throughout the entire thing. After we get that montage of Thomas and his friends puffing around the island as Michael Brandon voices all of them, we now get a sequence where Brandon basically tells us what episodes we are about to see. The first episode we have is Thomas to the Rescue, and does this episode work on differences? Definitely. It features Thomas getting into an argument with Diesel, and Diesel believes that only Diesels are useful instead of Steamies, but Thomas proves him wrong. So, yeah, this one works. Following which, we have a learning segment where we connect the dots of an engine, and the engine ends up being Gordon. Why is this here? This has nothing to do with learning about differences, so get rid of it. It's just like the ducks in the Big Rigs video. They're unnecessary, they don't need to be here. Then we have another learning segment where we learn the differences between Thomas and Mavis. And hey, this one works as well. Just like Thomas to the rescue. So, this one can stay, but the learning segment where we connect the dots with Gordon has to go. Next, we have Emily's new coaches. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been the biggest fan of Season 7. It's not a terrible season, not by any means, but I kind of want to say it's the worst classic season, in my personal opinion. But I enjoy this episode of Season 7. It introduces my favorite female engine, Emily. I know that may sound basic, but come on. She's a nice character, and her design is great. But this episode does have a problem here. It doesn't work with differences, because how is introducing a new engine on Sodor and friends misjudging her a difference? How is that different? That's what my opinion is on this episode, and I don't think it works here. So, nope, get rid of this episode. Now we have another learning segment where you basically color in Thomas, Henry, and Toby. How does this relate to differences? Again, just like Emily's new coaches. How does it relate to differences? All you do are just color in 3 engines at once. And then that's the end of the learning segment. It doesn't teach us differences other than their shapes, but then that's it. And finally, to wrap up differences, we have Henry and the Wishing Tree, which, once again, doesn't give us any differences whatsoever. And I'm going to be honest with you about my personal opinion on this episode in general. I do not like this episode whatsoever. When it comes to Season 8, it's probably my least favorite of this entire season, because Henry's just a total idiot in this one. Like, when he's pulling the Express, he acts like he has no idea how to do it whatsoever. But he's pulled the Express numerous times in several other classic episodes, like Come Out Henry, Whistles and Sneezes, and all of that. But here he's just an idiot throughout this entire thing. So yeah, not a good episode whatsoever. Then after that, we have the engine roll call song, and then the end credits. CPTV, super. And then we have the PBS Kids logo with the goldfish. I bet this brings back loads of nostalgia for us whenever we watch Thomas back in our early days. Okay, now we have the same warning again from Entertainment as another section is about to start. And then, I forgot to mention this earlier, but we have that little booklet of Thomas on the front cover as the Reverend W. Audrey reads to us that letter he sent to Christopher when the first book of Thomas got sent out for the Railway series. And it was there for both of them, just to point that out. Montage of Thomas, Michael Brandon speaking throughout the entire thing, etc., etc., etc. Then we have that segment where he talks about what we're about to see, etc., etc., etc. And now we have the feature presentation. First, we have Too Hot for Thomas, which is actually one of the most nostalgic episodes of Season 8 for me. And, unfortunately, it does not work here, because, okay, the heat at the beach makes sense for the weather title, but this episode focused more about being patient than the weather. But it has a few moments to enjoy in there, especially the scene where Thomas makes a lot of cocoa powder go over the air. That is so memorable. Now we have another learning segment where you help paint a portrait of James. Again, no idea why this is here. Then after that, there's the song Take a Look Around You, one of the most nostalgic songs from Season 8. Once again, it reminds me of It's Great to Be an Engine. Yeah, I'll have to cover that one eventually, because I really want to, because it's very nostalgic. Then after that, we have Salty Stormy Tale, one of my least favorite episodes from Season 7. Because Thomas and Percy were just jerks to him throughout the entire episode, because they were mimicking him. And then, this episode does work here, because it involved a storm, and a storm is a major part of weather, so yeah, this one will work. I'll give this one a pass. Then we have a learning segment where you have to help Thomas get to the logging depot. I'm pretty sure he knows how to get there already, but
Okay, I guess if you're trying to help kids navigate, I think this will work as well, even though that has nothing to do with the weather. And then finally, we have Percy and the Magic Carpet, one of the most weirdest episodes for me, in my personal opinion. The title's kind of a ripoff of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I still have yet to cover that. I want to do that for a special number. And, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I guess it does work as well. It has to do with wind. Wind is another thing of the weather. So, yeah, I'll give this one a pass as well. And then we have the engine roll call song, credits roll, CPTV, the PBS Kids logo, and then that's basically it.
Alright, that's the end of the video. Alright, so in conclusion, do I recommend this release? Okay, this isn't a full no here, but you're not going to be able to find this thing. So, it's extremely rare. And so, I have a theory of how I got this thing. So, as I told you before, this video was only made for people who worked at HIT. So, I feel like someone who worked for HIT gave that video to his kid, and when the kid got older, he decided to sell it. It got sold to a Goodwill, Indiana. My grandmother goes to that Goodwill quite a bit to find stuff for me and my parents, and so I think that's how she got her hands on it. Shout out to her. Alright, so the episodes on here, they're not really episodes I would have chosen for this thing. I think the weather is better here than Differences. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for this thing. This was a really bad review, I know. I'm a terrible reviewer. You can click dislike on this video if you want to. So, yeah, here's a favor for you. Many people in the Thomas community are trying to figure out where the physical tape is, because there's a page of this in a Thomas community website, and apparently the only known copy in the community is owned by someone who doesn't own the physical tape, and the tape is apparently considered lost media. Well, I, myself, got a tape. So, can you do me a favor? Promo this episode on YouTube on all your channels, and not promo the entire series, just promo this episode, and then share it to the Thomas the Tank Engine community, because I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of people in the community who want to know where the tape is, and I got it. So, could you please share that to them? Thank you. Alright, that officially wraps up the 12th episode of Legofan65's Childhood Inn. Our next review is going to be on There Goes a Train. Alright, tune in next time for this. Oh, and by the way, I bet Percy's going to have fun with this, because most of this cover is green. He's green. And I'll quickly show you my Bachman Thomas collection here real quick. So, we got Thomas. This is the Bachman model that you usually see in the intro of my show. Got Annie and Clarabelle back there. And of course, we got Percy. And then that's basically it. Anyways, tune in next time for this thing, and goodbye.